Hey everybody, we're back for day 5
Day 5.
On the 5th day of questions.
5 golden rings. Sorry.
Thank you for that. Anywho, so today's question is actually a combination of 2 questions that we got, and we're going to lump them together and answer the same question. So the first question was related to what are some ways that I can build up my spouse, and the second question asked if we recommended the 5 love languages.
I think how can I encourage my spouse or build up my spouse stemmed from the whole being your spouse's biggest cheerleader. So I think they kind of can feed off of each other too.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to give really practical advice on this one tonight. And we're going to talk specifically about the 5 love languages. So if you've never heard of that or not familiar with it, and even if you have, this is a good refresher because it's a great time to actually take that little test again. So
because it changes.
It does change.
It does change.
So Gary Chapman did a book called The 5 Love Languages. And you want me to put you on the spot and you tell the 5 love languages?
Yeah, if you'll help me if I miss one.
Let's go.
Okay, so the 5 love languages are...
This goes along with 5 golden rings.
You'd have thought we didn't plan that. We didn't. Okay, 5
golden rings. Okay, go.
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
Physical touch. Words of affirmation. Quality time. And...
You just forgot it.
Acts of service?
You said acts of service. Words of affirmation. It's gifts. Gifts is the last one.
Gifts.
So
that's not mine.
Yeah, and it's not mine either. In fact, I got a 0 on gifts.
I think I got a 2, but it's not mine.
Anyway, what this test actually does is it shows what your love language is. So the way that you want to be loved. And I think it's a great thing to know. It was really great for your spouse to know, because typically what happens in a relationship is I try to love Heather in the way that I want to be loved, because that's just natural. She tries to love me in the way that she wants to be loved, and it doesn't work that way, because those 5 love languages are very different. And so here's how you can find out what your love language is.
Okay.
And we've done the 5 love languages several times before, but I actually retook the test last night.
Okay.
And so I got on my phone. This is so simple to do. Got on my phone and I Googled 5 love languages quiz. We can probably even put the link like in the comment section or something like that. 5 love languages quiz. And it'll actually give you several different love languages that you can take. Like if you're a child, or but you want to choose the one that's for couples.
Right.
And so you'll take your specific. It'll ask you the questions and give you 2 options. You hit which one you prefer, and at the end, boom! It gives you a percentage of what's your top love languages. Yep. So mine has not changed. Mine has and probably always will be words of affirmation. Yes, and it was still very strong. My second is physical touch, and then right there close to it is quality time. Quality time was third.
Physical touch. Physical
touch, thanks. And we're trying to stay in
the middle.
So yeah, those are my 3. My gifts was 0. My acts of service was a little bit, but that's a great tool for her to know.
That's right.
So you haven't taken it recently, but
I don't think they've changed.
But like we said, it changes. So if you've done it before, take it again, and we encourage you to take it again.
It definitely changed from at the beginning of our marriage versus just a few years ago when we took it again.
Yeah.
But I think a few years ago it hasn't changed. So mine first is quality time. So doesn't matter what we're doing as long as we're just together, like sitting and watching a movie or going for a walk. The second one, a very close second, they were almost tied, was acts of service. So just to give you an example, if you don't mind, of what it was looking like before we figured this out was, because I love quality time and I love acts of service, I was trying to love him that way by just sitting down and doing nothing as long as we were together, and by keeping the house spotless. I mean, the dishes were done. There was always dinner on the table. Clothes were folded. There was always dusted and cleaned, because that's how I wanted to be loved. That's how I chose to love him. He would come home from work and care less if the house was spotless or not. I mean, that wasn't a way that I could show him that I loved him. So once we kind of figured it out, when he does the acts of service, he is great at that, because he knows that's one of my love languages. So when he's helping around the house and folding a load of clothes or loading the dishwasher, or whatever it is that he's doing to help, it has to be noticed, because words of affirmation are his number one love language. So I have to say, even though if I do the dishes 20 times and he does it once, if he does it, which he does it more than that, but if he does it, I have to say, gosh, I so appreciated you doing that. That meant the world to me, because it's affirming. I do silly things, like if he's outside building me something, I'm like, woo, that is sexy watching you build that thing. Just anything, like you look nice. I love when you wear your jeans with those cowboy boots. Just anything that is affirming and saying you're the best husband, the best father. I love thank you for coaching Logan's soccer team or Luke's soccer team. Thank you for being at every game. Just affirming him as a husband and as a dad and as a man. Just being his biggest cheerleader for that is for you.
So you guys need to take a few minutes and take that love language quiz again. Even if you've done it before, go ahead and redo it. Take it again so you'll know, and share it with your spouse so they'll know the love language and that's how you build your spouse up, by doing those things.
They need to be loved.
Yep. So that's our encouragement to you tonight on this fifth day of questions. If you've got questions, we've got some more. One really good one coming up for sure.
It was a tough one.
It was a tough one. And we got some others that we're going to share over the next few days. So make sure you get your questions in if you haven't already done that.
We need at least about 5 more.
Probably
four more.
Yep.
So
get them in. And until tomorrow, have a good night.